Hello and welcome to the Boostara podcast. I am your host, James. On the Boostara podcast, we speak to leaders in business and education and uncover the truths and insights from their amazing experiences. At Boostara, we help businesses leverage AI to boost growth, cut costs, and gain better business insights. If you would like to learn more about how we can leverage AI for your business, please type the word growth into the comments below. Today, we are joined by the amazing Khiry Francis. He is independent travel consultant and founder of Touregs Travel. Hello, Khiry.
Hi.
How are you today?
Great. I'm great. Busy, which is a good thing.
Always a good thing to be busy.
Always.
Always. And I think listeners will judge by accents. We're both in the UK. Whereabouts are you calling us from?
Well, I'm actually in London today, but I'm based in Leicester. So I do a lot of my work is national, so it's up and down the country. Leicester's a good place to base, to go up north and down south.
Brilliant. Yeah. Leicester's it's interesting. I think our paths have sort of crossed in some ways because I used to study in Loughborough. I think you were in Loughborough as well, and Leicester's not too far away, right? But for those of our listeners that aren't familiar with yourself and haven't heard of Touregs Travel before, could you just give us a bit of an overview, Khiry, in what's been the path to you coming to where you are today?
So what we do at Touregs is I am a start to finish travel agent. So it's bespoke travel packages, and what we do is we make sure that we look after a lot of VIPs, high profile customers as well. And what we do is we make sure that whether it's business travel or holidays, that everything is seen through right from beginning to end, including transfers. So it could be airport transfers or taxis, chauffeur services, accommodation, and everything down to security, personal security as well. And so a lot of the clients I've worked with so far have been athletes, footballers, directors of companies, that sort of thing. And the how I got into it, actually, I started off, I've got like 10 years experience in the security industry. Then we got hit with the big C, which was COVID. And during that time, there wasn't much event work happening. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to work on my passion, as many people were. We had a bit of time on our hands. And I said, do you know what, I'm going to do what I've always wanted to do, which is set up a travel agency. I grew up watching my granddad, who had a travel agency. He was one of the first black travel agents in the country. And he was also a business advisor as well. So I kind of use him as like an inspiration, and grew up watching his travel agency, watching my family work in there. And yeah, fast forward to today, where I'm in my third year of experience being a qualified travel agent, and the company is a startup, Touregs. I started it just over a month ago, actually. Yeah, that's where we're today.
Amazing that there's it's family connections, it's inspiration, it's closely related to what you've done in the past, because looking at Touregs, specifically, it's very different to I'd say the vast majority of travel companies when considering the clientele that you that you serve. And I guess going from your independent travel consultant kind of background in serving, I would presume, correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of everyone and anyone in most sort of holiday requests to a very specific clientele.
Yeah.
How is that different? How is the way that you have to work on a day to day, or the way that you position your marketing, and the way that you serve your customers?
So I mean, I would say the main difference is the fact that it's bespoke. So it's more so, if somebody has an idea where they want to go and why they want to go, I will make it happen. And I specialize in making sure that happens with for the best price available. So it's high value product, high value service that we offer. Now, the main difference would be, if the average person wants to go on holiday, including myself, we'll usually browse through websites to see which one has the cheapest package. and then we'll kind of see, oh, am I available at that time? Maybe we're not. I'll be like, okay, leave that. And then you'll go for the best price, presumably. Now, what I do is I specialize in, for example, if somebody says they wanted to go to the BAFTA Awards, I would say, well, that's on a specific day, so we already know what time and what day they need to travel. I will go back and forth with the client, and ask what type of travel they would need, how would they would get there, would they need escorting there, for example. And I basically have a network of all sorts of providers, whether they're travel agencies, vehicles, event ticket sellers, and I will combine the product and then come out with the finished result. So, in short, the difference is I my target audience is people who have to be somewhere, and I will get them there for the best available price.
Amazing, amazing. That's I think for a lot of people involved with travel that might be listening, that sounds very exciting for them. And I mean, myself coming from a slight travel background, I think
Yeah.
the worst, well, not the worst, but the most exasperating feeling you can have is someone coming to you asking for a holiday and they've got no money. They want the best for
Yeah.
very little, right?
Yeah.
For the area that you work in, I mean, you're guaranteed that they have money and you are going to provide the highest
Yeah.
level of service possible. I suppose a bit of a probing question is, to keep that business alive and going, how do you find the customers? How do you find people that fit that profile exactly that you're looking for? Is it an easy game?
Uh, Definitely not an easy game. I'm sure you already know the answer to that. Um, but what I would say is it's all about integrity.
Mm,
Genuinely, it's all about integrity and trust.
yeah,
And what I've done over the years is no matter who I'm working with or what job I was doing, I've had hundreds of jobs in the past. No matter what I was doing, I always made sure that my word was my word, and I would always, um, I don't want to say under promise, but I will promise and I will over deliver.
yeah,
The base of everything I do is making sure that I do way more than I promised and keeping my integrity. For example, if somebody was to book me out when I was working in close protection security and they were paying me £200, for example,
mm,
and somebody else says, "Oh, actually, I want you, and I'll pay you 2,000." I'll go with the 200 because I've already made that commitment.
yeah,
And if I can't find somebody trustworthy to take my place, that is all on me.
yeah,
And the people that I work with now, largely, they've known me for a long time, and they are usually people who, whether they coordinate travel for large groups or maybe they're in the security team for people who travel a lot. My networks know that with me, they're always going to get uh, integrity and truth, and I'll
mm,
always do my best.
yeah.
And that's the biggest piece of advice I can give, really. Everything else
Yeah.
comes together after that.
Yeah, because that speaks to your reputation, which
Yeah,
then gets more people coming to you. You attract more customers. And what you said there, that's definitely not the first time I've heard that personally about over delivering. Right? You obviously you deliver on what you've promised, on the expectations, but then you go further. And when you over deliver in that manner, that then your reputation builds even more so. What would you say in terms of the trends in travel and expectations in the kind of service that you're delivering? How has that changed over time?
um, I would say and this kind of works great with what you do as well with AI, because I would say over the years it's more so become, if you're moving with the times, you realize that nowadays on our phones we can do what a major company would be doing 15 years ago.
Hmm.
Now that means even coordinating travel. Now it's we're kind of moving into a space now where independent travel agents like myself, and there's hundreds of thousands of us around the world. It's more about using technology and AI to be more efficient,
Hmm.
because our specialization, we are specialized in travel. Now, other people may book travel for work, but if you stay ahead of the game, no one can ever do it better than you.
Yeah.
I'd say one of the biggest trends now is that I'd say for millennials and below, we spend more on travel than we do on physical belongings. Like way back in the day, it was all about who has the nicest car, who's got the best business card that can get them, I don't know, VIP rooms to lounges and stuff like that. But nowadays, it kind of seems like, especially after the pandemic as well, people really value experiences and making feeling fulfilled. Everyone's living now on their screens, and a lot of people are working from home as well. So it's becoming more and more important to people to actually have experiences like traveling and going to live concerts and that kind of thing. And even in the corporate world, we're seeing a shift now where our generations and below want more for in life, even in work. They want more rewards. They want to feel fulfilled more, and that's really helped with what I do. The industry itself it's like worth over $10 trillion globally. I mean, and it's constantly growing. It's growing like triple fold every year. So it's just about positioning yourself right and having that integrity and just setting up properly as well, like your website, your making sure that everything is transparent to your customer base,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
making things more personal, like gifting people more. Like for example, people who book with me or subscribe with me, I will randomly gift them or enter them into competitions for bespoke things that I know they love.
Yeah.
That's what keeps people, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what brings repeat customers.
That it's that personal touch, that
Yeah,
personalization, right? That you can't really get anywhere else. And interesting, you said about the value of experience, because don't they say a holiday or travel is this second biggest kind of expense that we put down. So after a house or a car, it's then a holiday,
yeah,
and people are doing that multiple times in a year. It, it takes a lot of trust building to place that with someone to organize for you. But at the same time, with people that do have that amount of money to spend, we also say people are what is it, money rich, time poor,
yeah,
right? So that's
exactly. Yeah.
where the need comes from, right? And especially the more bespoke experience that someone wants.
And the thing is, working with people who are money rich is like they are used to people who are constantly trying to squeeze them, right?
Mm,
So when they meet somebody who it's not, obviously we all have to get paid, but it's not about the money. That when they work with someone who isn't just about the money, it's more about how for example, how I make my customers feel. That's what makes me feel great. Now
yeah,
that's a genuine passion because of life has taught me to always care about people.
yeah,
That's where you'll really stand out, and that's in anything. That's not just travel. That's any industry.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really strongly believe in that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you put the customer comes first, and the service towards the customer and the care towards the customer comes absolutely first. Yeah.
No matter
But
what their background as well. No one is more important than the other.
yeah, yeah, exactly right. What would you say then the misconceptions that people have, maybe if it's a standard kind of holiday booking and they're coming towards you, they've never used an independent travel agent before, or it's someone coming to Touregs and engaging you for the very first time. What are those sort of misconceptions that you are kind of seeing or hearing from customers and clients?
I would say the most common misconception is that I or travel agents in general are just living this wonderful life. We do is travel um and that we are like rip-off merchants. So
Mm,
basically we have it all and we just sell this fake lifestyle. That's not the truth. Now, I understand where that misconceptions come from because it's all about marketing, right? A lot of people who enter this space believe that it's going to be easy for them. They're going to make so much money, and it's just not the case. It's really not the case, and that's why I learned to provide so many services and provide a complete service that brings so many different aspects into one. Now, I'm not just a travel agent; it's a whole luxury lifestyle brand, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I'd say, yeah, the biggest misconception from a consumer view is that we've already got it all sussed out, and if, for example, a price doesn't, if we struggle to compete with a specific holiday package that may be on a discount from another company, people imagine that we're just purposely ripping them off, but that's
Mm.
just not the case. It's it's very difficult when trying to compete as an agent with massive companies who can afford to like throw away deals and maybe not even make money on those deals just so that they can get those customers back on the big money deals, on the travel extras, things like
Mm.
lounges, your travel insurance, your taxis, all these things. They're getting commission on every single little thing that you've put together in that package.
Yeah.
For independent agents like myself, a lot of us are still living hand to mouth.
Mm.
So I know a lot of agents who can kind of portray this persona that, yeah, they're doing great, but it's all part of their branding. They're trying to just sell, sell, sell.
Yeah.
And I'd say that it's a very it's a I don't want to sound negative here, but it's a dangerous territory to be when you sound desperate and when you are desperate.
Mm.
Now, I say to all the independent agents out there, make sure that you have your um, you have your regular income already, because when it comes to building a brand and building a company, or even if it's just if you're a sole trader working on by yourself, when it comes to having that integrity, it really counts that you're not really desperate. It's not the type of industry where you want to be crying because you didn't make that sale.
Mm.
That's just sales in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'd say from a again, from a consumer point of view, the when it comes to independent travel agents, there's that lack of trust, and I understand why. It's because you don't know who you're working with. It might just be
Mm.
one person. You don't know if you have, um, for example, I'm ABTA and Atoll certified, which means if you book with me, you will get your money back if anything happens with the company that you booked with.
Yeah.
Um, and sadly, that's not the case with everyone.
Mm.
And some people can tarnish travel agents' name. It's the same with estate agents, for example.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
same with mortgage brokers. Like every industry has the people who just want to take, take, take.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where it's just about building that trust. And from a consumer point of view, I would say it's about just doing your due diligence, working with people who have good reviews, people who you know are trustworthy.
Mm.
Yeah, because there's good and bad everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And it takes time to establish and develop that
It
trust.
does, yeah. Yep.
It's not a quick, just they've seen your post, they've seen you do a little video, so they instantly trust you. It takes engagement. It takes them often meeting in person or getting that recommendation from a friend to build up that level of trust with anyone, right? People by people, not specifically just the products. But I mean, one thing that I'm aware of with travel agents is it's not any more expensive to book with a travel agent. A lot of the time, 9 times out of 10, the price that you would get direct going to a supplier is the
Yeah.
same price as what you get at a travel agent. But the travel agent will be there as a kind of extra safety nets and service level that you won't necessarily get with the direct supplier. Yeah.
And what a travel agent should do, and what I always make sure that I do is that we are the bridge between the customer and the providers, right? So that means if anything goes wrong, we're the first person to sort that out.
Mm.
And being transparent when it comes to things like that is really important as well, because there are so many annoying things happen in the travel industry. Like, For example, prices, flights.
Yeah.
Every travel agent's nightmare or nemesis, should I say, are flight providers, because they kind of control the industry when it comes to obviously cross-country travel.
Mm,
And price wise, they are ruthless. If
mm,
you don't book immediately, it could go up by 50% or down by 50%. You just don't know.
mm.
And getting that across to customers is very difficult sometimes. And oftentimes I just have to be very patient and just be like, look, if you don't book now, I'm being honest, it might just jump, the price might do backflips.
Yeah. Yeah.
And many times it does, and you just have to count your losses. It's like, um, yeah, it's very much about just making sure that that person trusts or the company trusts you, that you're gonna have their best interests at heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Very, very well said. And that's if you've built that trust up to that point, then likely the likelihood is they will have your interest, they will have your back, no matter what situation comes up. And we saw it just recently, this past week, right? In the cyber attacks in Heathrow disrupting
yeah, yeah.
flights, passengers that booked with travel agents, they likely would have been sitting there a bit more calmly, a bit more quickly than others that hadn't, right? Um, I mean, the cyber attacks kind of bring us nicely, although in maybe more of a negative sense, to tech and AI. I'm wondering what's your perspective on the impact that it's having within travel? And I guess it on one side, it's what impact is it having on travel agents, but then what you're seeing with operators, with airlines, and then that kind of pass on impact that's having on yourselves.
It, so for myself, I would say the impact it's having is that people are just way less trusting. So it's a lot harder now to convince someone to book with me as opposed to a company that they've grown up hearing knowing about.
Mm,
But in reality, we're the same when it comes to the finished product. If not, we're better because people like myself work with less customers. We haven't got hundreds of people in a call center and a backlog of complaints
yeah.
where we can actually deal with the problems at hand straight away. If I get a call from a customer and for example, they've been stranded in another country because the driver doesn't turn up, which is one of the most common issues,
Mm,
instantly I can get on the phone and make sure that's sorted out. And I'll be on the other line to the customer
mm,
as it happens, as opposed to a larger company where you're most likely going to be waiting on hold. You have to it might not even be a free phone line that you have to call. It,
mm,
a lot of the time, because of the amount of customers they deal with, these large travel suppliers, it's actually easier to just go and find somebody in the airport who's going to charge you 4 times the amount that you should be paying just to get from the airport to the hotel.
yeah.
Someone like myself would be able to negotiate back and forth with these drivers who have already built a network within in those countries,
Yeah.
and then be able to send you over a document so you know exactly what drivers come in. You've got the location link sent to your phone, so you know where the driver is. Things like that. I'd say with independent travel agents, if we do it right, it's 10 times better to book with a smaller company or independent bespoke company than it is with a massive provider.
Mm,
In the When things go wrong, I say. When
mm,
things go great, they're amazing. For example, your coach turns up, everything runs smoothly. You still won't get the more personalized experience where you'll have more help with whatever it is you need doing. But yeah, when it's going great, it goes great. But when it goes wrong, an independent travel agent is definitely my recommendation.
mm. Do you think AI can help travel agents to a faster degree, like for those kinds of issues? Is there an opportunity or a use case where you can be even faster, even quicker to deal with customers?
100%. So for me, it's not can AI help? Will people like myself use AI?
Yeah.
it's 100% helping. It's making things thousands times more efficient,
Mm.
and that's one thing that the larger companies do have access to is these apps, these AI, the help of AI. People like myself and the smaller companies, we have to capitalize and utilize those tools, even if it's more difficult for us to access, because in my personal opinion, over the next few years, people are really going to suffer if we don't adapt and
Mm.
use AI. Because
Mm.
yeah, it's making things a lot easier and more expensive for us as agents, but in the long run, way more efficient.
Yeah. Yeah. What sorts of use cases can you see AI helping in the sort of day-to-day activities that a travel agent
Hmm.
works through?
Um, so when it comes to building itineraries, when it comes to finding local contacts that may be useful, for example, any country somebody wants to go, if they ask me where they want to go, I'll be using AI to find out the most efficient services available. Like traditionally, it was really hard. So if you wanted to find a excursion, for example, you go on your app, you scroll down, you rely on reviews. You might spend hours looking for to build just one itinerary of what am I going to do at this time, and then after that, once you've made your plans, you then have to find how to get there. Um, and the easiest way was to walk up to a desk and say, right, I want to do this, that, and the other. Do you have any other recommendations? And they will say, yeah, I can do anything you want, but it's going to cost you an arm, a leg, and maybe even your head. But with AI and independent agents like myself, what we can do now is compare all these hundreds of providers, thousands of providers that are out there, find the ones with the best reviews, find the ones who are in the local area, the fastest responders. So now it's like you have the entire world in your hand, on your phone. So for
Mm.
agents like myself, it's kind of a no-brainer not to use that technology
Mm.
to make ourselves even more efficient than the larger companies who have too much to deal with, in my opinion.
Mhm. Would you say that's the thing that maybe sets can give agents that upper hand is that speed?
Definitely,
Um, yeah.
definitely, and that's another reason why I said it's important not to be desperately relying on being a independent travel agent. It's something that takes time to build rapport with customers, to network with providers, and make sure that everything is in the right place so that you can utilize these tools and so that you can afford to use AI and things like that to be more efficient.
Amazing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, totally. If I think that there must be for one person working on their own, or even in a small team. I think there's an upper limit as to the amount of inquiries you can deal with in one sort of daytime period, right? But with extra tools on board, that limit can then suddenly increase, and with that, that's people are happy because they're being dealt with in the
Yeah.
same sort of quality manner, but then you're happy as well because that means more money.
Yeah. And in time as well, it won't even really matter how small the company is as long as they operate correctly.
Mm.
For example, myself, I have a network of hundreds of thousands of travel agents that I
Mm.
can access, and some of them are good, some of them are absolutely rubbish. But with AI, I can now very easily find the best agents. Like AI will kind of sieve out the rubbish, so to speak, and it will give me the options of the closest and most available travel agents who use the same system as myself, who I can outsource to. So there's no I have no fear of having too much work to do because that outsourcing to other qualified agents is always available and people
Mhm.
who have even more experience than myself.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's another way that AI is really useful.
interesting. I mean, the last question on AI: is there a use case you can see, with your own day to day, your own operations that you haven't automated yet, but if there was, this part of your job just became completely automated, hands-free, you just let it run, what would that be? What would that look like?
For me, it would be websites and social media. It's so time consuming, and although I've only been on this earth for 3 decades, I've got the mind of like a 70-year-old. I'm not the most tech savvy, and it's just always been that way. And for me, having AI help with more the online side of things, it has been and will be everything to me. Yeah,
Mhm. Amazing, amazing. And what would you say? I mean, for yourself and Touregs, going forward, what's the vision? What's the path that you're leading on into the future?
so my vision is to bring VIP bespoke, VIP luxury events and holidays, bring it to a more, um, firstly, make it more user friendly, like the experience of actually booking these things. Because usually, like you go on a website, it says um, you have to send a booking form, and then you're like kind of biting your nails, expecting them to come back and say it's going to cost you 20 grand just to go down to your local football stadium for the evening. For me, what I'm doing is bringing that personalized service into hospitality and events and travel, and um, just making it more accessible,
Hmm.
making it more accessible, and more high value, which means better services for less money.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Brilliant, brilliant. I think that's a fantastic vision to have, and the people that you're reaching out to engage in your services, they're generally higher end clients, right?
generally, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, high rank. What the way I see it is more people who value time and don't
Mhm.
have much of it. As you said, time is it what
Money rich, time
money
poor.
rich, time
Yeah.
poor. That's it. So people who are money rich, time poor, but also people who just value time. You may not be the wealthiest person in the world, but working with someone like myself or with Touregs, you can be sure that whatever it is you're whatever it is you want to do, whether it's a nice holiday, a honeymoon, or whether it's a business travel, you just know that you're getting the most out of your money.
Absolutely. Well, what's the best contact details to reach you on for anyone listening that thinks I need to get in touch with you for my next holiday and to build that trust? Because anyone who is listening to this call, I'm sure can feel that the trust that they would have in you in organizing the holiday. How to reach out to you?
The best way to reach out to me at the moment is on either LinkedIn or also on Facebook and Instagram. My name is Khiry Francis, so it's Khiry Francis, Francis. My company is Touregs, Touregs. Um, and yeah, as I'm still a startup business, I'm working on, as I said, the website and the online side of things. So if you reach out to me personally, Khiry Francis online, yeah, I will get back to you and we can just have a chat. It's all about for me learning about what the customer wants and what they like, and then I can always suggest the best thing, even if it's to say, do you know what, the best thing for you is to go somewhere else. I love talking about travel and events. It's just my thing. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'd say just reach out and we'll go from there.
Brilliant, Kyrie. Well, I will put your contact details below for anyone and everyone to reach out. And I know you've got me thinking about my my next holiday holiday now. But brilliant, and I think totally resonates with myself, and I'm sure with all the listeners. Building trust. People buy from people. AI can help bypass a lot of the I've got my keyboard here, the manual data entry, all of that kind of rubbish, the things that we don't want to leverage us for conversation and trust building, right? I think that's a really important message for everyone to remember. But it's been absolutely fantastic to have you on, Kyrie, and yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll
Thank you
speak
everyone
soon.
for listening. Cheers.